Hello, and thank you for checking out this guided meditation for sleep. So I had the idea to do this video earlier this past week when I started to really get these signs from Source that it was time to rest and restore. I continued to charge ahead. I had really big goals that I was aiming for, and have really been manifesting quite a bit in my life over the past 4 weeks. Things that I had just written down and really wanted. I started to recognize that I was a vibrational match for them and that they started flowing quite freely to me. So things like income and friendships, new clients within my business, really anything that I had this desire for. Something at one point at the end of September, kind of a switch flipped, and I just started to be more aligned with what it was that I was working towards and aiming towards. But like I said earlier this past week, I did start to get those signs, and the phrase that kept coming through from Source was tap the brakes. And I continued to charge full speed ahead. I had a lot of things on my to-do list. I was getting ready for Angels, Guides, and Ascended Masters to launch on the 27th. And I just really was not yet willing to give up the momentum. Then on Friday, I really started to say it's time to take a break. And after a really powerful channeling session, I actually looked over at my deck and the card, take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill, was somehow flipped over on top of the tarot deck that I had been using, or the oracle deck that I had been using. And so I started to think about what I was going to do in order to rest and restore. It was really interesting because one of the things that came to mind was to sit and do a guided meditation. And I love meditating, but I do them every day. And so I was really looking for something that was completely different. But I followed through. I did the guided meditation, and what happened was I fell to sleep. And when I finally came back around after a really delicious nap, I recognized that we brush the importance of pure rest, of sleep, under the rug. We typically are looking for something that's more active when we're trying to heal and when we're trying to work on our spiritual path. So for today, I am offering a guided meditation to help you ease blissfully into sleep. This is a beautiful meditation, especially as we are on the approach to that Scorpio new moon. Really, it's a beautiful meditation for any time. But that Scorpio new moon is when we really feel that beckoning to go within, where we want to be in our cocoon and just ready to do the work that needs to be done in order for us to come out and be that butterfly. So whatever you need to do in order to get really comfortable, to take care of any worries that would prevent you from easing into deep, deep rest, go ahead, hit pause, and take care of them. That could be something like washing your face, brushing your teeth. Maybe you're not in the most comfortable clothing. We all have that perfect pair of PJs that we just love going to bed in. So maybe you grab those. But then go ahead and start to make your way into bed, or perhaps if you're just taking a nap, another beautiful way to do this is to lay on the ground, and even better if you have a safe space that you can do this outside. I highly, highly recommend doing this while laying on Mother Earth. But give yourself the opportunity to find that perfect shape. And this is a big deal for me. I talk about it in a lot of my meditations, that you want to be in a shape that you don't have to fight to stay into, where you're just going to be able to relax further and further into it, where you're going to be able to really dig and access those layers of restoration, nourishment, and deep healing. So give yourself that opportunity to find, the perfect leg support. Stick the pillow under the knees, and if it feels great, keep it there. If not, ditch it. But we're going to get going. So if you're not quite comfortable yet, hit pause, get comfortable, and then return. So let's go ahead and get going with just a few big inhales through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And just imagine that anything that is creating stress, anxiety, tension within you, allow it to escape through the mouth. Do a deep purging, a deep detox of that energetic resistance you might be feeling. And take a few more rounds just like that, in through the nose, letting them cycle out through the mouth. Now we're going to start to take that breath and change the pattern a little bit. So let's inhale through the nose, filling yourself all the way up, and hold it at the very top of that inhale. Just letting that breath cycle within the body, and it can become a little uncomfortable. Stick with it, hold it, and release. Doing that same pattern again. Inhale through the nose, fill yourself up, and hold it at the very top. Keep holding. Keep holding. And let the lips open. Let it rush out. Once again, big inhale. Taking a little extra sip of air this time. Hold it. Hold it. And then open up through the mouth and it rushes out. And so now that the body is quite comfortable and at peace, we continue that journey by doing a really focused release of the body. So bring your awareness to the very soles of the feet. And just breathe in, tap into everything that's going on there, anything that you're storing there. And as you exhale each time, let that tension flow out. You might notice the arches of the feet soften. The toes extend a little bit. Just a deep release of the feet. With the feet resting, start to bring your focus to the ankles. Breathing in. Letting it go, noticing how the bones perhaps pull slightly away from one another, relaxing, the ankles roll open. Just a deep softening of the joint. And start to bring your focus up into the legs. Tapping into how the calves feel, any tension that might be in the shins. And using those exhales to just guide them into releasing anything that they're holding onto, any muscle tension. Any aches, any pains, let it go with the exhale. And starting to connect to the knee joints. Breathing in, paying attention to what you're feeling there. And using the exhales to once again let those joints soften. Perhaps they work slightly away from one another. They might even turn out a little bit. But a deep surrender of any work that you're feeling in those joints, in the knees, sending it down into the earth. We start to draw our focus further up the legs, into the hamstrings, into the quadriceps. And as you exhale, let them melt into the space underneath you, completely giving up anything that they're holding, anything that they are carrying. Let it go, sending it deep down and out the body. And then starting to invite your focus into the hips, into the pelvis, the glutes. And using the exhale to let the muscles in the glutes drop away from one another. Perhaps the hips roll open a little bit. And there's a softening in the area of the pelvis. Drawing your focus up into the low back, into the belly. Letting anything that you're carrying there go. Letting that low back melt into the mattress. Letting anything that the belly is keeping within it surrender. And with that next inhale, focus on the heart space and the shoulders. And exhale, drop all of that tension, any of the burdens within the heart. Let them fall back. Letting it go, letting it completely release. And allowing the inhale to deeply nourish that space. And we'll move down into the arms as you inhale, focusing on any tension that's within the very tops of the shoulders, down the length of the arms. And let them get really heavy. Once again, really breathing into the arms, tapping into anything they're storing there, and exhaling what you no longer need. And we bring our focus into the hands. Using the exhales to let the fingers work away from one another, the palms soften, the wrists feel that softening. And then focusing on your throat, the muscles in the neck. To release, you can exhale and perhaps even swallow a few times, letting go of anything that was left unsaid. Letting all of the tension and stress in the neck, within the throat, dissipate with the exhale. Breathing into the facial muscles and the back of the head, we use that exhale to surrender. And perhaps you guide the lips into a subtle smile, which you'll notice will drop the eyes slightly back into the head. Each exhale releases a little bit more from the face, from the back of the head. And tap in finally to the very crown of the head, inhaling deeply, exhaling fully, softening the scalp. One more round of breath here. Big, beautiful inhale. And as you exhale, you give yourself permission to rest for as long as you need. Namaste.